enjoyed your lunch. It was absolutely incredible seeing all of you interact out there and network. We will now beginning the next session. I hope you all exchanged cards during the lunch. Did you? All exchange cards, LinkedIn's, everything? Amazing, amazing. Keep connecting. That's really, really important and is definitely a part of marketing that we all prioritize. All right. Coming up next, we have a very interesting session. We will hear from a few of our experts how to be a content marketer in a world where everyone thinks they can write. Please welcome our panelists and our moderator, Gareth Cameron, Chief Marketing Officer at Davies Consulting Division, Yash Verma, co-founder of ClickBounty Global, and Amit Kapoor, the Senior Director and Global Head of Content and Social Media Marketing of Synity Technologies on stage. They will be with us shortly. Until then, who knows some good knock-knock jokes? Knock, knock. Oh, I'm really bad at this. No. Oh, really bad. Yes, yes, yes. They're going to do a wonderful job, though, I'm sure.
More energy, more footwork.
More footwork, more footwork.
More passion.
More passion, more energy, more energy. I will take it away, gentlemen. I'll give it over to you. Lovely people outside the conference hall, I see you. We have eyes everywhere. Please come and join us. I know that sounded like a threat, and it is.
Big Brother's watching you.
Okay, to those who are here, hope you had a good lunch. Please don't sleep, because I won't let you. Okay, so one thing actually I wanted to do when more of us were there, but considering you are here and you are giving us the respect of being heard too, I want all of you, I'm sitting, I won't ask you to jump and all, just raise your right hand, or if you are a left-hander, just raise your left hand. Just bring it to the back and pat your back. Guys, I mean, we all are here because we are somebody, and we have put in a lot of efforts, and we are being recognized for that, right? Okay, so the topic for us is a tad bit different from what we have been hearing for the last 2 days, but it is still aligned. We have heard a lot of discussions on AI. We have heard a lot of discussions on branding, marketing overall. But the one thing that I always feel that forms the base of any and every marketing activity is something that I felt we have not really discussed, and I'm lucky that I got that topic to discuss. The topic is how to be a content marketer in a world where everyone thinks that they can write. So if you have to promote your brand, you need somebody to write that, punchline for you. If you need to, promote your website, you need to have a writer who can write solid content for you, right? So with that thought, I would like to my fellow members on this August podium of Marketing 2.0 to introduce, or rather reintroduce. Go ahead.
Well, I think this is the 4th time I'm speaking, so it's just Gareth's conference. So it's not Marketing 2.0. Welcome to Gareth. Anyway, I'm by no means a content writer by profession. It's a really unique skill. But as a marketing generalist, I understand the complexities and the need for good copywriting and just general writing. So I push for perfection with the team and our writers in the team. But so I know what good looks like, but I'm by no means a copywriter. I'm glad that I'm able to share my insights with you today.
Great. Yes.
I My name is Yash. I think I've met most of the people around here by now, and so by profession, I'm in the niche of affiliate, specifically affiliate marketing. So my agency is all about affiliate marketing, and we partner with international networks, and we are into different niches. For example, Nutra, ecom, and also now getting into D2C products. So copywriting and content writing basically is one of the things that we do almost every other day. But then there are a few challenges I'll be sharing from my end. Why did I get into this? As to how do we, every single day, how do we figure out as to, if I have to sell my product, what do I have to write? How do I have to write? And how do I have to make it more attractive to the customer who I don't even know where he or she is sitting, or what's the name of the person. I've not met them in person. So considering the fact that we have to write every single day, and we have to convince somebody sitting in some other country, entirely different demographics. So that's what we're going to be discussing today, and I think we can definitely start. Yeah.
Awesome. Round of applause.
Thank you for all of us.
So, a little bit of myself. A few of you who I have talked, I have been like kind of saying that, I am like Wayne Industries running in the afternoon 9 to 6, and then I become a Batman when I reach home. Uh, the reason why I say that is because the last 2 to 3 years, I have been really working on myself. By profession, I am a global content and social media marketing head for a company called Signity Technologies based out of Hyderabad. I am from India, and I had biryani in Dubai also yesterday. So, uh, content has been my passion, and it has been just writing for the last 23 plus years that I have been here. And like in short, like I have received the World Marketing Congress awards 4 times, a lot of Siksha awards, and multiple other awards. But thank you guys. And in addition to that, uh, my mother has been a teacher all her life. I think some of it rubbed down on me. I never did my MBA, but I am proud to say that till date, like I have given almost 40 sessions in a lot of reputed B schools and other institutes. And I love to interact with students, and also like a lot of entrepreneurs who come up and who want to learn and do more, in their business. Uh, with all that said, uh, so my first initial 15 years of my career, I was a purebred technical writer. When somebody in the initial days used to ask me, like, so what exactly is technical writing all about? I used to just tell them that if you have got a fridge, you would have got a manual. And we are the ones who kind of write those kind of manuals for you to make it life, more easy for you to be able to operate those products better, in addition to all the technical guides that we used to write. Then 9 years back, I was, I am grateful that I got this opportunity to move into a totally different arena called content marketing. And it has been a fabulous journey. And I hope I have been able to, help my team and my company grow. Right. Okay. So that's a little bit, I don't know more, but yeah, it's about me. Uh, so, Yash, would you like to talk about your passion for writing, communication, and more?
Okay, so let's start step by step as to why did I get into content writing, which is not, so it's not purely content writing. It's based, because the business that I am into, the industry that I'm into, it requires content writing. So the interest got a couple of years back. I got introduced to the affiliate marketing. That there's something called the affiliate marketing, and like everybody else, of my age, I thought that it's a very small industry, very specific niche, specific industry, and not a lot of much money to make in. But then somehow I got introduced to certain companies, and then I figured out that there is good amount of potential into this. So the major factor was money, first of all. Okay, so that's why we're all working. Now comes in the content marketing and content writing part, wherein I thought that, I'm able to communicate with people, which is what I think. And I'm able to convince, if I'm sitting across the table, I might be able to convince a lot of people as to if I'm selling anything. Now, if you have to get into this marketing industry and you have to convince people sitting in one country, and then I have no idea as to who is clicking on my product, who is buying my product, who is the supplier, because this is all about my industry. So all I have is the write up that I have to give. Now, for that write up, I have to make sure that I have certain information about the product, and there has to be emotion into it, so that once we if I click, this is what I think. If you click somebody's emotion, then definitely that product is supposed to sell, because they'll be able to relate to it. So the very initial couple of months when I started, marketing the products, they did go. Some of them went well, some of them didn't even work. Pretty worse of them. But then I started changing the model a little bit, and then that's how it got into motion actually. And then we started getting clicks, we started getting, the products, the sales, and everything. That is how I figured out that okay, why is content writing so important as compared to just pure media buying and marketing the product. I cannot just show posters or pictures, put it up on Google Ads or somewhere like that, and then just sell the product. But there has to be a write up, there has to be information about it. And then when I personally go into the market, or maybe you see the billboards across the roads, and different advertisements. So there are a lot of ads you just come across and they pass by, we don't even notice. But then there are few ads, very few ads, that you make sure that, oh, what is written. So that, if you look across and then you stop by, you have a snapshot in your memory that I saw this ad today, it was pretty interesting. That is what content writing is, even if it is just 3 words, right? So a lot of us, a lot of people, they use these food delivery apps. So the most famous Zomato is there in India. So what one thing Zomato is famous for in India is that how do they send the push notifications. So, for example, if Amit sir is sitting, in his office in the evening, he's pretty tired. So, might be possible that Zomato will send a notification, a pop-up notification that, hey Amit, are you missing me? Do you want to have an ice cream with me? And that is the content. It is a very short content, very short form of content. But then he was all alone, probably sitting and working in late hours. Right now, he wants something, maybe a push notification, and then that's how that emotion got touched. He must have, if he picks up the phone and he says, probably brings a smile to his face. That is what the emotional touch will give you. So that is when I started getting into, like, the content writing part, and it became pretty interesting. How can I convince people sitting across the globe, and then make them sell, buy the product. That's the story.
I got a shorter notification than that. It said, Amit, hi, chai? I said, yeah, samosas also.
Oh, yeah. So Valentine's went this week, and Zomato did make me feel how single I am. Can't help it.
Gareth, your thoughts on the same?
Well, yeah, I'm not a writer, so I haven't had a passion to go into writing, but I have a passion for good writing. So, as a marketing generalist, it's very important for us to deliver campaigns that reach our customers, and a large part of that, to your point, is what resonates with them in the story. So I love clever content that's witty, that challenges the status quo, that stands out from the rest. So, for example, we're doing this whole brand campaign now for Davies Consulting Division, and one of the ads that we potentially going to run, it's not to say that we will, but that we're looking at says, if you don't want happier customers, don't click this. And it's all just about psyche and making things pop in different ways. So you can utilize clever copy to get messages across, and I love that. I think that it starts with the strategic intent of the campaign. So what is the campaign message, the creative strategy, etc. So once you understand that, I think you can sort of build out really, really cool copy. And then also from a longer content perspective, so blogs, articles, white papers, etc. I think it's vitally important there to have incredible copy, incredible language, because you can see it. Like for example, myself, I'm not a good writer. I can think it, I can speak, but to put it on paper, I just can't put it on paper. But I love it when I read an article that is written beautifully. And when SEO comes into it as well, the trick, and we were discussing earlier, the trick is to have a SEO driven content that is still meaningful and impactful, because you can also read articles and you like immediately say, that was written for SEO, it wasn't written for consumer, right? So I think it's very important to find that balance, but you can very easily pick up when something has been written beautifully or not. And that's a skill in itself. And I don't think that everybody can do it. And you'll probably find that some copywriters who write short form content can't write long form content, and vice versa. Because you'll get people who are very good storytellers, and you'll get those who are very good at sort of punctuating a tagline. And then I suppose you'll get those who can do both. But I think it's an incredible skill, and it's something that we don't focus on enough. And I think as we see society, new society grow, younger generations come in, short form texting, etc., our language is dumbed down, right? So, and that's a risk when we bring in AI as well. I think that our youth, and it scares me, because I think we're going to have a lot less intelligent youth. So, especially with generative AI. So, copywriting and long form writing in general is so important to what we're wanting to achieve. And I just take my hats off to those who can write, because I certainly can't.
Let's connect. So it is a debatable quote, but that is what I have heard usually, that it is attributed to Hemingway. He said, there is nothing to writing. Okay, all you just need to do is to sit down at a typewriter and then bleed. So yeah, that's all we do. I mean, we bleed, right? Our thoughts into words.
You see, that's the challenge for me personally, is I can
you are
think
blue-blooded fellow man.
But even to put it into words, sometimes like I have to take people on a long journey, because I can think it, but then to put it out on paper is a different thing.
I think you covered quite some interesting bits. Before that, like I'll talk quickly about my passion for writing. So I kind of I belong to Lucknow. My birthplace is Calcutta. I belong to Lucknow. Is known to be a city for poems and shero-shairi, kind of short verse. So I kind of started writing poetry when I was in class 8th and all. And like I am a published poet. I have like almost like 400, 500 more poems that can be published. But then from there to moving on to doing an MA English, and then getting into the field of technical writing, all that happened because like for some reason I could not see myself doing anything more as impactful as creating writing, because it has become for me a way of doing a social service. I don't know how many of you would think of writing as a social service, but the way I see it as, if I am able to articulate some needs very clearly to the audience who's going to read it, and that reader is going to get helped in taking the decisions correctly, I think I have done some service to that person, to the organization also, to the person also. And so then additionally, I remember like making my first 500 rupees income for doing a punchline, writing for some advertising billboards. So that's all. It all started, and then I guess not able to stop as of now. You brought in the generation of using the short form writing. Believe it or not, it is becoming a bit of a challenge to understand all the short forms and acronyms that are being used today. Okay, it was my birthday, and somebody sent me a message saying GBU. I'm like, what? I asked, like, can you explain what is GBU? I said, God bless you. I said, then you could have just said, God bless you. And I honestly, I mean, with no malice, but if somebody has to say thank you, they'll say TY, and the other option is a TX. So why? I mean, at least if you are being grateful, write it. How much time will it take? And this is all, I think, the generation Z generation, the latest generation that we are talking about. I got an email with a subject saying NNTO. I'm like, what is NNTO now? It's like, no need to open. Why are you even sending it to me? You can just tell me. Right? So, on that same note, right? I mean, you guys also would have, hired people in your teams, right? So, are there any, specific stories or good writers, or, I won't say bad writers, but yeah, people who did not have it in them? Gareth, maybe you can take.
Yeah, so I mean, I've just gone through that exercise. So when recruiting for writers, I think it's very, very important to give a task. And I'm not one for the task, because I've gone through them myself, and it's a debaucherous exercise. But nevertheless, I suppose it's important, because you don't know what you don't know, right? So you don't know, like a person's a writer, but you don't know whether it will fit. And I think it's very important to see their skill, to give them something to write about and measure it, because otherwise you're going to be in a situation where you don't get what you need. I think, to those who are incredible at their craft, they're able to adapt their writing to a specific tone of voice and specific guidelines. But not everybody can do that. So, I mean, you'll get some journalists who are great at writing about political journalism. Some will be great at writing about sport, but they won't be, they won't be able to cross over. So, it's very important, I suppose, as somebody hiring, to take their time with them. And what you could also find, I mean, is their responses might be okay, but you can see that their writing style is great. And then you can sort of hopefully teach them how to write for the tone of voice. So that's also something. But it's a very, very tricky one. The only way to actually know if somebody's writing style will fit your organization is if you test them before. That's my opinion, anyway.
So I have a very short, interesting story I want to share. So while I was, hiring for the content writers, and we put it on LinkedIn, and
Always a pain.
yeah, it's a very tedious task. So amongst that it was there on LinkedIn. We just posted on LinkedIn, but then there was one very young chap, and what she did was that she found the email. She found my email address, and she mailed me her resume. But then once I opened up the resume, the first thought that comes into your mind, there's going to be a photo, there's going to be the university, what you've done, what if in the previous occupation you've had and everything. It's going to be that sort of a resume. But that was not at all. There was just nothing but a conversation between the interviewer and the protagonist. So she portrayed herself as the protagonist, that what I would be saying, and me being the interviewer, as if she's sitting right in front of me. And I started reading all the lines. So at first, I mean, I could not, I thought that she sent me the wrong email. But then I started going down and down, and then it was there written in the email that she sent me. The body of the email said that this is the conversation that you and I are going to have once you hire me, and once you call me in the office. Like I called one of my teammates, that did we schedule any interview. She was like, no, I don't even know this person. So I started reading the entire email, and she used to work for a comic book. There was some comic publication she used to write for that, and it got in so interesting. So it was a 3-page resume, and all the lines and everything was written over there as to how, okay, what's your name, my name is this, okay, where do you come from, this, everything was there in the introduction. Then comes in the comic part as to why should I hire you, don't you need one content writer in your office, why should you hire me. And then it got interesting, and I was sitting right in front of my screen. I started laughing, and that is when that got to me, that this should be the person that should be given a chance, as to she can make me laugh sitting, sending me an email, she can make me laugh. That shows the passion that she's so passionate about it, because she can if she's able to send me an email, she's able to see that interview from a second person's perspective as well as a third person's perspective, and that is when she's a very good teammate.
Storyteller.
Yeah, no, she's a storyteller. Once you give her any task and you give her any topic, she'll just start ranting about it, and then from a third person's perspective, and it gets way more interesting. So once we're all done with the office work and everything, so we usually call up for like, give us a story, take this bottle and just start telling us a story, and it gets very interesting. That's how I actually get to know that this particular person can write about almost anything.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'll share a couple of examples, over the years that I have experienced. When I was a technical writer per se, leading a team and trying to hire, and I also used to have the job of doing the editing for all the error messages that were being written, and to be a part of the whole application. So as writers, we become the first testers of the product because we have to write about everything that a user can experience. So it was our job to try and make that product break down, so that we can write about it and then help the company improve on the product. So I was trying out something and suddenly an error popped up. It said something has gone wrong somewhere. I was confused for a minute. I thought that maybe it's a system error or something. I retried the steps. Same error message popped up. Something has gone wrong somewhere. I was like, I called the developer, whoever was working on that module. I said, can you please explain this message to me? I mean, if I am a user and if I would have used these steps and the message I see is something has gone wrong somewhere, what am I supposed to do next? Right? So, what has gone wrong? Why has it gone wrong? If it is too technical, okay, just at least advise me, click this button so that you can move to the next screen. But please do not write in a way that it is like a, if we can use the word, bouncer of the the reader who's trying to read that content. uh, Apart from that, I was trying to hire a lot of people claim to be writers. And when we go ahead, and in fact, for hiring one candidate, I actually ended up trying to review almost 70 plus candidates I had to interview over a period of 6 months, not in one day, of course. But so one of them said, I am, and I said, okay, let me have an interview with you. And the person, in the initial stage time, can you write blogs and white papers and all those things? The person says, yes, I can able to. I said, what do you mean I can able to? If you are saying in that language, I mean, honestly, with all due respect, I don't think I cannot be able to hire you. So, I mean, I did not say that, but naturally, that guy did not proceed in the interview further. So things like these. But then, after 70 interviews, odd and all, I got the team, a dream team that is like sitting in Hyderabad and churning out fantastic blogs and white papers, case studies, website content, and I'm really so glad that they are there, forming, working, and as the backbone of my team, and works feels good that you can depend on them, right?
You could have sent another email to that person, NNTO.
Yeah, I guess. I did not know of NNU till then. So
Oh, okay.
yeah. Okay. Okay. I think we'll move on to the last question, because I don't see the clock ticking by. Uh, what are your thoughts on what or how can one become a successful content marketer? We have been talking about writing till now.
So I think two sides to the coin. There's one is know your customer, and then know your topic, right? Because great content is about taking your product or service and putting it in the consumer space and letting it live. And that's what everyone aspires to do, right? Some do it very well, and some do it okay, and some can't do it. So good content writers, good copywriters allow your product, service, or brand to have a space and live as a personality within your consumer space. And that's, I mean, I've just now partnered with an agency that's got an incredible content writing side of it, very very clever minds, and the level of conversation that they're developing for us to take to market in the consumer space is probably the most advanced that we've ever had as a company, and I'm very excited to see how it works. But it's really going to challenge the market as well. So it's about understanding us as a company, understanding our products and services and solutions that we're delivering to market, and then understanding those who are going to read it, or they're going to engage. I think that's the trick. And if you can sort of get that trifecta right, then you're halfway there.
Awesome. Yash?
Well, I want to add to this point that if anybody wants to become a good content marketer, and as well as a good content writer, what people have been doing is that they've been using the AI. They just write and give a prompt to the Chat GPT. But that I mean, personally, I think that's okay, because not everybody can write about everything. I cannot write about almost everything. But what I can do is that I can have a backbone from the artificial intelligence. But once I have that script, once I have a few pointers from that script, I need to put in my head. So there has to be a collaboration of the artificial intelligence or whatever tool anybody is using. Not specifically ChatGPT. There's Bard, there's Google Bard as well now. So, but once I have that particular backbone of that, the content that I have to write about, I really have to think from a human's perspective to give it a personal touch. To, if it's got to be a little bit of comic, it's got to be witty, it's got to be smooth, it's got to be emotional, because there are thousands of products out there. So the collaboration of both of these things would end up leaving us with a particular content that would itself market, so that it itself grows into the market. Anybody, anywhere, it should go, it should pop up. Everybody should be able to figure out that, okay, this is something that I want to read, this is something that I want to click, this is something that I want to see through. That's what I think.
Awesome. I made a few notes. I'll just rattle down, a few very important characteristics I feel for anybody who is a writer and who wants to, move into the field of content marketing as such. So first of them, I think Gareth already mentioned that the person has to understand the audience. Who is the person, going to read it? So, for example, at my organization, initially, we were open to all sorts of levels of organizations that we are targeting based on our blogs and white papers and all. Today, we are targeting more niche areas, type 4 and type 3 level companies. So while the initial phase of content for the first 4 years, 5 years, we used to research content, of course, and write it in a way that a manager, a senior manager level of person also would read it and reach out to us. But then when the company's vision changed, we changed our strategy to start reading about what the analysts are talking more. What are the agencies like HBR or Forbes, or we started reading more and more of that and started using the language and the keywords that these organizations use, because the CXOs eventually end up reading from those kind of platforms. Second is definitely every organization has their own unique tone, so that any content that comes out, it has to look like that there is only one writer and not 10 different writers in the organization. Only then there will be a clear message going across. Focus on quality. Naturally, I mean, we all are very aware that what spelling issues or grammar or punctuations, sometimes we don't focus on them, and the message really goes for a toss. And another thing is, one thing, I mean, consistency is one thing that I have firm faith in. Be stick to the plan. And in fact, I mean, I like to say that if I were a key maker, right, I may want to name the brand Consistency, because consistency, my friends, is key, right? And apart from that, there are so many formats of content, right? Explore the formats that suit well with your organization. I mean, as you were mentioning, there may be a short form that can attract, there may be long form white papers. So who's the target audience? It all depends on that. And The blog formats also, we started with writing almost a 1900 word blogs, and then today we have moved to almost 850 blogs because people have moved to listening to blogs more, and we have added the feature to listen to the blog rather than just having to read through all of it. Nora, I know you're coming up very soon. And as we discussed, like SEO optimization, uh, promotion of content, that is what we have been talking about the last 2 3 days. The social media promotion is very, very critical. If we do not promote what we are producing, we are at a loss. And the timing is important. I mean, as a small tip, Mondays are not very good for promotion on social media. Wednesdays and Thursdays rock. Saturdays are very good for your, you know, more friendly family employee engagement kind of posts. They really work well. And engage with them. If somebody has added a comment to your post, please go ahead and respond in person, not from just from your company or as a person. So that's where the whole connect will come in. And if you want to be a writer, if you want to be a marketer, you know be open to support all the existing teams that are there, whether it is like account based marketing, whether it is events, whether it is the PR team, whether any webinar is coming up, whether it is a podcast, whether you have to create videos. Damn, like the list is endless. So you have to have the knack of going on upskilling and relearning and learning further. Only then you'll be able to sustain. I think, Gareth, you have a point.
Yeah,
You've been
so
trying.
I just I know
Sorry.
that time's up, and but I just thought I'd just share a quick story on the importance of really good copywriting. It'll be 2 minutes. So I joined SMG Motor Retailer Group in South Africa in 2015, and a week after I joined, we won BMW Motor Dealer of the Year in South Africa. So the CEO, Sean McCarthy, who's actually one of my mentors, an amazing man, he said, can we do an article and put it in all the papers and put it in all the magazines, etc. So I did that. So I put the article together. I wrote it. It was sort of like I wore many hats at that company. Wrote it, put all the imagery together, got it designed and sent to the press. Well, I hadn't sent it to the press yet. I sent it to him for approval because it was a dealer of the year. He wanted to approve it first. And there was a little paragraph. He's like, it doesn't really work for him. And he said, but leave it with me. Come and speak to me tomorrow. He was going to speak to his wife, but he said the rest of it was good, but just one little paragraph he wasn't happy with. So I went to him the next morning. I asked him if he had done it. He said he forgot, but I must come to him in an hour. So I went to him and we played around with it. And there was one word, just one word at the end, which he wasn't happy with. And he kept thinking, like, it needs to change. I said, well, why don't we change the sentence or something? He's like, no, I'm happy with the content. Just this word is not right. Can't remember what it was offhand, but he just wasn't happy with one word. And I said to him, okay, but Sean, we're on deadline. It needs to go. And he said to me, how much did it cost for the advertising? And in South Africa at that time, it was about 20,000 Rand, which is a lot of money. So he said, no, it's fine. Just tell them we'll book it again next week. Because brand, personality, his reputation of the brand is so important. And he was happy to spend 20,000 Rand again the next week over one word. So I think that's just something worth considering. So I think the moral of the story is don't settle for mediocrity.
Definitely. A very quick addition to all the points that I said. You have to be very clear when you are talking about the audience. It has to reflect in your writing also. If you are sending a PR, for example, for a US-based audience, the spellings have to have the Z's in them. But if the same has to go for the UK, it has to be the S, right? These are very small nuances that a writer has to keep in mind, because the whole game may flip. The client will not be happy if you are reaching out to them in Australia, for example, and all the spellings have the specialization with a Z instead of an S. So that really kills. And anybody who's a writer and then moved on to maybe becoming an editor role and all, you have to be very clear. Like, believe it or not, there was a almost a 25-page critical document that had to be published, and the first page said something like we are excited something we wanted to say. And the spelling of excited did not have C in it.
Exited.
It has exited. And time for us to exit?
Yes, yes. Hint, hint.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Throw the brickbats. I think we have been throwing enough.
I just have one question for Gareth. What was the word?
As I said, I can't remember it offhand, but it just, like the way it described us winning Deal of the Year, like he said it was right, but it wasn't amazing. Like, so we ended up changing the whole paragraph. Like I told him, because like it was just a bit too difficult. But
no, but that must drive you up the wall. I feel like if a client, that would drive me up the wall.
No, but the moral of the story there is how important copywriting is, right?
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
when you tell the story, when you put something out in the public domain, that is an extension of your brand, extension of your company, extension of your product. And for him, and rightfully so, SMG is built on customer satisfaction and delivering the best service and delivering a product that is, it was BMW. Like you can't get better. So in his mind, nothing less than perfection was allowed, and that's why copywriting is just so important. I remember I lie in bed and like at midnight, and he'll be, because he worked all the time. Like he would send me a screenshot, like, Gareth, what's this? And he'll pick a big circle around it, like this wasn't good English. Like, so for that's what I learned from him, was the importance of delivering a good message. And his motto was never settle for mediocrity. And he's like, if you read it and you're not happy with it, don't let it be published. So copywriting is just, and that's why I know that I am not a copywriter. So in this headline, it's like when everybody thinks they can write, I can tell you I can't write. But I know what good looks like at least.
I mean, to add on, like definitely, if copy is not right, I mean, like we all have, like, at least the good writers, they would rewrite the article 5 times, 10 times, till the tonality, till the message, everything is correct, and as planned to go to the readers. Otherwise, it won't work.
Absolutely.
In fact, so much so, when I did my MBA, my marketing professor phoned me, because the MBA classes are quite small. Like the professor gets to know everyone, and there was like 12 of us in the class at that stage, because people had fallen out over the years. And she phoned me, and I was like, oh God, she's phoning me. That means I did badly in my exam, right? So she phoned me. She said to me, Gareth, if you never have to write again, don't. That was. But yeah, I got a good mark. I think it's because she couldn't understand what I was saying. But.
Awesome.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. Everyone, put your hands in a massive round of applause for our experts. And as you can see, their names, their companies are up here. Take advantage of that. Take a picture and connect with them on LinkedIn.
And guys, I'm not speaking again. That was it done, I promise.
Do we have a time for a question? Yeah, 1 second. I'm being told that I'm getting fired. So...
That's for the last 2 days.
Yeah. In my earpiece right now, they're like, you're fired.